After 7 years of marriage, my wife left me and our son for a high-value alpha male at her firm. Now he dumped her, and she's begging to come back, AITA for refusing to be her backup plan? TLDR, my ex-wife 30F wants to reconcile with me 29M after leaving me about a year and a half ago. I'm conflicted and need advice. I had been with my ex for 7 years, married for 5 of those. Our relationship felt like love at first sight, and everything seemed so natural and effortless when we met. After about 2 years of dating, we decided to tie the knot. Not long after, we welcomed our baby boy, now 4M. He was a pandemic baby, so my wife ended up quitting her job to take care of him, while I continued working as a line cook and started doing Uber Eats on the side to make ends meet. As things began to return to some semblance of normalcy, my wife expressed her desire not to lose her passion and ambition after settling down. She decided to go back to finish law school and take her bar exam. Of course, I wholeheartedly supported her, and we tried to make it work despite the challenges. After she passed the bar, she immediately got hired at a prestigious law firm downtown, thanks to the help of her friend, Dumbo 33F. This is where our problems started to escalate. From the get-go, my wife began making good money. So good, in fact, that she suggested I quit my job to take care of our son full-time, as she wouldn't have the time. I initially said no because I loved my job. Cooking was my passion, and I had worked my way up to becoming a full-fledged chef. However, after some persuasion, I reluctantly agreed and became a stay-at-home dad sod. This decision would later become one of my biggest regrets in our marriage. Slowly, our marriage began to deteriorate. My wife started working long hours and barely spent any time with us. She would go out drinking to network with her work colleagues on weekends, sometimes even going out of town. At home, she was often irritable and distant. It was like her personality had done a complete 180. This wasn't the sweet, nurturing girl I had fallen in love with all those years ago. Our intimacy became almost non-existent. Looking back, I realized that I am also to blame. I should have communicated better and shared how I felt. Luckily, the highlight through all this was my son. Seeing him grow and being there for many of his firsts made everything feel like it would be okay. One day, she finally came to me and asked for a divorce. I wasn't surprised, as I had felt everything was leading up to this. But I still didn't want to give up. I asked if she was sure about this or if she wanted to make it work. I suggested couples counseling or a temporary separation. She declined both offers and told me she had found someone else. Hearing this shattered me. I could understand her changing and us growing apart, but I never thought she would entertain other men. She told me it was some partner at her firm. It felt like my life had turned into a cliched Korean rom-com. She said he had invited her out a couple of times and showed her the life of luxury she deserved. We argued, and she told me that he was twice the man I was. She called me feminine for being a stay-at-home dad while his wife was working hard and bringing home the money. I was stunned. It was her idea for me to stay home, and what about the 2 jobs I worked during the pandemic? To her, those weren't real jobs. I was just a delivery driver and a cook. She went on to brag about how tall and muscular he was, how he had a real job, and how he took her on weekend getaways which she had told me were work-related. The kicker was when she said he was such a man that he didn't want to make things official until we were separated. I almost laughed at how delusional she had become. I asked her about our son, and she casually said I could have him. He likes me better anyway. This hurt the most. I couldn't believe she said that about her own son, throwing him away like he was some object. For the first time, I couldn't recognize the person in front of me. I won't lie, I let the anger get the best of me and said some hurtful things back. She was taken aback, probably because I almost never get that angry. She turned around and left. After she left, I cried my eyes out for 2 weeks, hoping she'd call and come back. I didn't love her anymore, but life without her felt so scary. The only thing that kept me going was my son. I knew I couldn't turn to the bottle or go down a dark path because of him. I managed to beg for my job back, and they rehired me for some weeknights, which was better than nothing. I spent the next few months just putting my head down and working in silence. The divorce proceedings moved quickly, and before I knew it, it was official. The worst part was feeling like I had no support system. On social media, everyone praised her for being this strong, independent woman who broke free from some metaphorical shackles, as if I was some villain holding her back. Not a single person messaged me to ask how I was doing. Thankfully, this isolation pushed me to try therapy, and I haven't looked back since. For anyone unsure about therapy, I'm telling you, it works. Fast forward to this week. I received a phone call from an unknown number, and when I picked up, it was my ex on the other line, bawling. She told me how her alpha male boyfriend had found someone else, and she was too afraid to confront him because he was a partner at her firm. She finally explained her perspective and how everything led up to this point. Basically, my ex has always been really pretty and a social butterfly. After she had our son and the pandemic hit, she felt ugly and insecure, even when I told her she was pretty. So, when she got her job, she got the validation she craved. Feeding into these delusions was Dumbo, who had recently divorced her husband and poisoned my ex's thoughts with ideas that I was a failure as a man. Dumbo told her that she was way prettier than me and deserved someone of her standards. Apparently, I was a beta male who rolled over and was stopping her from being free. She said a lot more specific stuff that I think I'll keep to myself here, but it was definitely an eye-opening conversation. I shouldn't have pushed my ex away to the point where she was vulnerable enough to listen to Dumbo, but still, after hearing all this, I was more disappointed than anything. That she would be stupid enough to throw everything away on some whim and peer pressure. My ex asked if we could try again. She told me how much she misses me and how she took me and all I did for her for granted. For example, I always made her lunch in the morning, made sure she was up to date with her pills, and so on. She misses those little things. I admit to telling her that I missed her too. And I know our son does for sure, but she made every decision herself. And what if things had worked out with the other guy? I'm not some consolation prize she can come running back to. She cried and told me that she wanted me back a week after she left but was too prideful to call. I firmly told her no and hung up. Since then, my phone has been blowing up with messages from friends and family calling me heartless. They say my wife was vulnerable and taken advantage of, and instead of picking up the pieces and helping her, I'm leaving her to fend for herself. That message hurt the most. I respect her father a lot, so I heard him out. He wants me to come over for a resolution intervention this weekend and bring my son. They just want a conversation to hear both sides and see if it's really resolvable. I'm attending, but I'm going to stay firm with my answer. But all the recent messages have been making me rethink my stance. I just want to make sure I'm not in the wrong before I attend. Additional context and reflections. Looking back, I realize that our communication breakdown played a significant role in our marriage's demise. I should have been more open about my feelings and concerns instead of bottling them up. However, I also believe that my ex's actions were inexcusable. Leaving our family for someone else and then expecting to come back when things didn't work out is not something I can easily forgive. I've also been reflecting on the societal pressures and expectations that may have influenced my ex's decisions. The idea of being a strong, independent woman who doesn't need a man is often celebrated, but it can also lead to unrealistic expectations and a devaluation of the roles that men play in a relationship. I'm not saying that my ex's actions were justified, but understanding the broader context has helped me see things from a different perspective. As for our son, I want what's best for him. I know he misses his mother, and I don't want to deny him the chance to have a relationship with her, but I also don't want him to grow up thinking that it's okay to treat people as disposable or to run back to someone when things don't work out with someone else. I'm torn between wanting to do what's right for my son and standing up for myself. I don't want to be a doormat, but I also don't want to be seen as heartless. I'm hoping that the intervention this weekend will provide some clarity and help me make a decision that's best for everyone involved. The impact on our son has been the light of my life throughout this ordeal. Seeing him grow and being there for his milestones has been a source of joy and strength for me. However, I can't ignore the fact that he misses his mother. He often asks about her and wonders why she's not around. It breaks my heart to see him confused and hurt by the situation. I've tried to explain things to him in an age-appropriate way, but it's challenging. I don't want to badmouth his mother, but I also don't want to give him false hope that she'll be back in our lives permanently. It's a delicate balance, and I'm doing my best to navigate it. I've also been thinking about the long-term effects of this situation on our son. Growing up without a mother figure can be tough, and I don't want him to feel abandoned or unloved. I've been trying to fill that void as best as I can, but I know it's not the same. The role of therapy has been a game changer for me. It's helped me process my emotions, gain perspective, and develop coping mechanisms. I've learned to communicate better, set boundaries, and prioritize my mental health. I've also gained insight into my ex's behavior and the dynamics of our relationship. I've been considering therapy for our son as well. I think it could help him process his feelings and understand the situation better. I want to provide him with the tools and support he needs to navigate this challenging time. I'm approaching the intervention this weekend with a mix of apprehension and determination. I respect my ex's family and understand their desire to help, but I also need to stand firm in my decision. I don't want to be swayed by guilt or pressure. I plan to listen to what everyone has to say, but ultimately, the decision is mine to make. I need to do what's best for me and my son, even if it's not the popular choice. I'm also prepared for the possibility that my ex's family may not support my decision. It's a risk I'm willing to take to maintain my integrity and protect my son's well-being. Moving forward, regardless of the outcome of the intervention, I'm committed to moving forward and focusing on my son's happiness and well-being. I want to provide him with a stable, loving home and be the best father I can be. I'm also open to the possibility of co-parenting with my ex, if she's willing to put in the effort and be consistent. I want our son to have a relationship with his mother, but it needs to be on terms that are healthy and beneficial for him. As for my own healing, I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm focusing on my mental health, pursuing my passions, and surrounding myself with supportive people. I'm also open to the possibility of finding love again, but I'm in no rush. I want to take the time to heal and grow before jumping into another relationship. Final thoughts: I appreciate any advice or insights you can offer. I know this is a complex situation with no easy answers, but I'm trying to navigate it as best as I can. Thank you for taking the time to read my story. Additional considerations: I've also been thinking about the practical aspects of reconciling with my ex. If we were to get back together, how would we navigate the challenges that led to our divorce in the first place? Would she be willing to address her issues with validation and insecurity? Would she be open to couples therapy and working on our communication? I've also been considering the financial implications. If we were to reconcile, would she expect me to quit my job again and be a stay-at-home dad? Would she be willing to compromise and find a balance that works for both of us? I've also been thinking about the impact on our social circle. Would our friends and family support our decision to reconcile? Or would there be judgment and criticism? Would we be able to rebuild the trust and respect that was lost? These are all important factors to consider, and I wanted to make sure I'm making an informed decision that takes all aspects into account. The emotional roller coaster. The emotional roller coaster I've been on since my ex left has been exhausting. There were days when I felt angry and betrayed, and other days when I felt sad and lonely. There were moments when I missed her and wanted her back, and other moments when I felt relieved that she was gone. It's been a constant battle between my heart and my mind, and it's taken a toll on my mental health. Through it all, I've tried to stay strong for my son. I didn't want him to see me broken and defeated. I wanted him to see that it's possible to overcome adversity and come out stronger on the other side. I've also tried to be honest with him about my feelings, without burdening him with the details of the situation. I want him to know that it's okay to have emotions and that it's important to express them in a healthy way. The importance of self-care throughout this ordeal. I've learned the importance of self-care. I've made it a priority to take care of my physical and mental health, even when it felt like everything was falling apart. I've made time for exercise, healthy eating, and relaxation techniques like meditation and deep breathing. I've also made an effort to connect with friends and family, even when I didn't feel like it. These small acts of self-care have made a big difference in my ability to cope with the stress and uncertainty of the situation. The power of forgiveness. I've also been thinking a lot about the power of forgiveness. I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive my ex for what she did, but I do know that holding on to anger and resentment is only hurting me. I've been trying to let go of the past and focus on the present and the future. I've been trying to forgive myself for the mistakes I made in the relationship and to learn from them moving forward. I've also been trying to forgive my ex, not for her sake, but for my own peace of mind. The value of community. Throughout this ordeal, I've come to appreciate the value of community. I've been lucky to have a supportive network of friends and family who have been there for me every step of the way. They've listened to me vent, offered words of encouragement, and provided practical help when I needed it. I've also found support in unexpected places, like online forums and support groups for people going through similar situations. These communities have been a lifeline for me, and I'm grateful for the connections I've made. The lessons learned. This experience has taught me so much about myself and about relationships. I've learned the importance of communication, the value of self-care, and the power of forgiveness. I've learned that it's okay to ask for help and that it's important to surround yourself with supportive people. I've also learned that it's possible to overcome adversity and come out stronger on the other side. The future. As I look to the future, I'm filled with a mix of excitement and uncertainty. I don't know what the next chapter of my life will bring, but I do know that I'm ready to face whatever comes my way. I'm committed to being the best father I can be, to pursuing my passions, and to surrounding myself with supportive people. I'm also open to the possibility of finding love again, but I'm in no rush. I want to take the time to heal and grow before jumping into another relationship. Conclusion. In conclusion, I'm facing a complex and challenging situation that requires careful consideration and reflection. I'm committed to doing what's best for my son and myself, even if it means making tough decisions and facing criticism. I'm open to hearing different perspectives and seeking guidance, but ultimately, the decision is mine to make. Thank you for your support and understanding. The journey of healing. The journey of healing is not a linear one. There are ups and downs, setbacks and breakthroughs. It's important to be patient with yourself and to celebrate the small victories along the way. It's also important to seek out support when you need it, whether that's from friends, family, or a professional therapist. The art of letting go. Letting go is an art form. It's not about forgetting the past or pretending it didn't happen. It's about acknowledging the pain and the hurt, and then choosing to move forward. It's about forgiving yourself and others, and then letting go of the anger and resentment. It's about focusing on the present and the future, and then letting go of the past. The beauty of resilience. Resilience is a beautiful thing. It's the ability to bounce back from adversity, to overcome challenges, and to come out stronger on the other side. It's the ability to face the unknown with courage and determination, and to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. It's the ability to find joy and happiness, even in the midst of pain and suffering. The strength of vulnerability. Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. It's the ability to be open and honest about your feelings, to share your fears and insecurities, and to ask for help when you need it. It's the ability to connect with others on a deeper level, to build meaningful relationships, and to create a sense of community and belonging. It's the ability to be true to yourself, to embrace your imperfections, and to live your life with authenticity and integrity. The wisdom of experience. Experience is a wise teacher. It teaches us about ourselves and about the world around us. It teaches us about love and loss, about joy and sorrow, about strength and weakness. It teaches us about the importance of communication, the value of self-care, and the power of forgiveness. It teaches us about the beauty of resilience, the strength of vulnerability, and the wisdom of experience. The hope of a brighter future. The future is a blank canvas, waiting to be painted with the colors of our dreams and aspirations. It's a place of hope and possibility, of growth and transformation, of love and connection. It's a place where we can heal and grow, where we can learn and evolve, where we can create and innovate. It's a place where we can be true to ourselves, where we can embrace our imperfections, and where we can live our lives with authenticity and integrity. Final reflections. As I reflect on my journey, I'm filled with a sense of gratitude and appreciation. I'm grateful for the lessons I've learned, the relationships I've built, and the experiences I've had. I'm grateful for the support of my friends and family, for the guidance of my therapist, and for the wisdom of my own intuition. I'm grateful for the opportunity to grow and evolve, to heal and transform, to love and connect. I'm also filled with a sense of hope and excitement for the future. I don't know what the next chapter of my life will bring, but I do know that I'm ready to face whatever comes my way. I'm ready to embrace the unknown, to take risks, and to pursue my passions. I'm ready to be the best father I can be, to build meaningful relationships, and to create a sense of community and belonging. I'm ready to live my life with authenticity and integrity, to embrace my imperfections, and to be true to myself. Thank you for taking the time to read my story and for offering your support and guidance.